hell are you doing here?
I think I'd let you do this on your own.
Jesse.
Screw it. Let's get done. My friends can't get out of their own damn way.
So here we got Jesse. This is his Seattle attire. I'll start off by saying I found a really good reference picture on DeviantArt by a guy named Crazy31139, I believe. And he extracted the model directly out of the game, so I'm pretty sure most of this stuff is about as close as you're going to possibly get. I mean, reference-wise, at least. The actual parts are not as accurate as I would hope they would be. Yeah, most of this stuff is pretty darn close. Weathered, the jacket to hopefully match the model also. The backpack is, I'm pretty sure, the backpack directly out of the game, or at least the one that they modeled it off, because it's pretty damn close. Rifle is just another one of those shell-ejecting dart launchers. The pistol is an airsoft gun. It's a Browning high power. Streamlight Survivor obviously is the same one that I had before. There's a machete. We'll see it a little bit better later. That is sewed directly to the backpack. Boots. Those are my pants, by the way, that I've already farted in, thus making them mine forever. But yeah, we'll start from the inner layers and work our way out. I just burped. Off camera, thankfully. Okay, so here's the base layer. The t-shirt, pants, boots, gray undershirt. Pardon. The gray undershirt with the V-notch. That's pretty consistent through all the reference photos that I was able to find. The part that was not quite as clear as the patterning, whether or not it's smooth or if it's got texturing. The one extracted from the game actually has ribbed or waffle pattern. This one in particular is waffle pattern. I got from Amazon. The V-notch is actually a little bit more common on sweatshirts, which are all smooth and it doesn't have external texturing. So it's possible that it was implied or modeled off of a sweatshirt that had the V-notch on it. I stuck with the extracted reference photo. To me, that seems like it would be the most accurate. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see the sleeves because he never takes his jacket off. I went with the short sleeve so I could actually wear this because I don't really wear sweatshirts. The only thing to say about the pants, these are my old work pants, that's why they've got holes in it and stuff. Seems to work fine for post-apocalypse. And yes, in the example, they are rolled up like, 1950s Eddie Haskell. The boots are just fairly basic brown boots. I was looking for kind of a subtle mock toe, brass eyelets. The soles are worn down to almost look like they're loafers or something like that. I went with the boots so I could actually wear these, and I've been wearing them at work for the past month just to get them all broken in. Again, the model shows a mock toe, which is short for moccasin toe. The seam on that one it's real subtle. A lot of the mock toe boots that you're going to find has a real thick leather stitch around it, and I didn't want a thick leather stitch. I wanted just a nice subtle line. The brass eyelets are hexagonal, and I was looking for round ones, but again, that's okay. I have a belt on him right now so that like you could have the pants separate but still have the gun tucked into his pants that aren't really there. So there's a belt here for that. All right, next layer. Next layer is the jacket. This was an interesting, lengthy search to try to find this particular jacket. Found it on Amazon again, like pretty much everything else. The kind of things that I was looking for were tan knit cuffs, which usually includes the waistband also. Stand collar, which means it'll stand up. A lot of times with bomber jackets, you get just the knit, but I was looking for like an actual collar, and it just so happened that this one has both. As long as you get the stand collar, that's the part that I was concerned about. Tan bomber jacket, canvas, knit cuffs. What is it? I forgot what I was already saying. On Reddit, there's people postulating that it was possibly a Carhartt because it had the little patch right there, which is indicative of Carhartts. Carhartt didn't actually make, or at least not any version that I was able to see, the stand collar plus canvas with the knit cuff. So as far as that goes, it may have been based on a Carhartt, but the final version isn't any particular version that's available, or at least that I could find, even in like eBay, going back, to the old crappy beat up ones. Alright, so here's the weathering. The cuffs and the waistband are actually brown, and on top of that, he's got weathering on the sleeves, on the bottom of the jacket and stuff. I got some watered down brown RIT dye, and I basically just painted that onto the knit parts. And one of the things that happened was that it started to soak up into the sleeves and into the bottom of the jacket. At one point, it started to leave a little bit of a definitive line, as in like, this is where the moisture stops, so this is where the color stops. To combat that, I sprayed it down so that I got the rest of it wet, so all that color was wicking up and fading into all the rest of the wet stuff too. But it was a nice gradient from the darker brown up until the fade, and where you can't even tell where the end line is. Like this one you kind of can tell. Well, you can sort of tell here too. Maybe you can. Looking through the camera you kind of can, but in real life it's a very subtle fade all the way up. The not Carhartt patch is just a leather patch that I had, what's the word I'm looking for? Contact cement. I used contact cement to adhere that. A couple of the other inconsistencies on the model, it shows a couple of rivets down in the pocket. No rivets. Didn't really feel like adding the rivets either, because I'd just be poking holes in it for no reason. Well, for the purpose of accuracy, but I didn't really need it to be that accurate. I think that's all for the jacket. So moving on. The next layer is the backpack. This was sheer luck that I was able to find this. The Normal brand, that's the name of the company. This one is the top side leather in navy. I don't know if it's a discontinued product, but I found one on eBay, and it just so happened that this was the right one. Reference photos, pretty much everything corroborates the fact that this was the backpack that the model was based off of. Pretty much the only thing that isn't consistent is the snaps here. These are magnetic straps. The one in the game are just little button heads and stuff that poke through, but otherwise pretty much everything else is consistent with the reference material. Yeah, the Normal brand. Obviously that one's gonna go. This came with a lot lighter leather. I just painted it with some leather paint just to get the darkening going, and then of course I sanded it just to make sure that it gave the post-apocalypse weathered look to it. Pretty much everything else I could leave as is. The straps on the side, the D-rings, this one right here, this one, that's exactly as the reference material says. There's a company logo, a bear. I just painted over it because it was otherwise orange. Jesse carries a machete with the extra ring holes. These are all snap hardware, but otherwise this is Sintra with EVA foam padding and stuff for the grips and stuff. The weathering is, I tried to get a lot of the rust weathering. There was a really good shot that I found on Google Images of Jesse standing. It showed the weathering off really, really well, so I tried to match to that with the dripping rust, and I sewed it in place so that it didn't go anywhere, it didn't slip down and whatnot. Carry handle was originally leather. Well, it is leather, but it was originally the same color as the rest of everything else. So I painted this blue to match all the straps and stuff like that. So I don't know where I was gonna go with that. So yeah, moving on. Okay, so the last little bits are his long gun, which is a lever action rifle, and sidearm, which is this right here that he tucks into his pants. This isn't really his pants. Like I said, it was his belt, but it's in his pants. This particular long gun is not the one that he has in the game. The one in the game is a Marlin 336, which has got a little bit different stock, and it's a little bit thicker handguard. But, I mean, for the most part, 30-30 lever action, you're not going to go wrong. Again, this one was the shell ejecting soft bullet one, so you can actually stand by. So this was actually clear when I first got it, which is actually really cool, and it was hard to paint it because, like, I wanted to keep it clear because it showed all the guts and stuff, how it was working and stuff like that. You load them from here, and then you do the lever action thing. You know, the lever action where you do this thing. Yeah, I had to paint it to make it look accurate. It's actually pretty fun to shoot this thing, too. And up you go. Stay. Sidearm. This is a Browning high power. It's pretty clear what he has in the game, which is a Browning high power with the tangent sights. Silver with wood grip. I think the hammer is black. Maybe some other parts, but for the most part, the one that he has in the game is silver, but it's very clear that it's a Browning high power with the tangent sights. And this goes right, yeah, in your pants, yeah, like that. Yes, all the reference material has it specifically in the pants, with the exception of the one scene where he pulls it out of the back of his pants. Either way, gun in the pants. So that's Jesse, and all the stuff that makes up Seattle Jesse. Maybe not everything. A lot of everything. Most of everything. Yeah, I wanted to get this one out before the next season of The Last of Us starts making the news, because I saw that they casted the new Jesse, but there's a good chance that they're going to change up the wardrobe, so this might not be as accurate in a couple of months. But either way, it's as accurate as I could make it now. And that's it. Okay, bye.